Wow, an alleged verbal attack on Brendan Rodgers has backfired and people are pointing the finger at the Celtic board. We will go over this interesting story in today's video whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Chris Sutton has voiced his sympathy for Shin Yamada after the Japanese striker was axed from Celtic's Europa League squad just days after appearing in the Glasgow derby. Yamada came off the bench at Ibrox during Celtic's goalless draw with Rangers last weekend, offering a glimpse of what he might bring to the squad, but that outing has proved short-lived, with Brendan Rodgers leaving him out of the club's 24-man European squad submitted earlier this week. Writing in his Record Sport column, Sutton couldn't hide his frustration with how the situation has unfolded. Why are 4 of the summer signings not in the Europa League squad? That says it all. Shin Yamada comes off the bench at Ibrox while Johnny Kenny isn't in the squad, but the roles are reversed days later. I feel sorry for Yamada. I don't think he's a world beater, but he's shown signs he could be useful. Now he's been caught in the crossfire. Yamada's omission is another symptom of a wider squad management issue that has seen Celtic's summer business come under increasing scrutiny. 40% of Celtic's summer signings didn't make the Europa League squad, including keeper Ross Doohan, who, let's face it, won't play a single minute. It was a disastrous summer for Celtic, all things considered. There is increased pressure on the board to come out and speak publicly. We'll be lucky to get something on Celtic TV at this rate. Brendan Rodgers will be quiet until Celtic's next match against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. The manager will face the media, and they'll be searching for answers for what happened during the summer. Now for the main story. A scathing attack was launched at Brendan Rodgers in today's Scottish Sun, where the paper appears to be briefed from someone inside the club. They claimed Rodgers is the only manager in the club's history who has repeatedly questioned things. While intended as a criticism, the quote reads more like a backhanded compliment and a damning reflection on the internal culture. Since returning, Rodgers has made no secret of his frustration with the lack of urgency and ambition in Celtic's transfer dealings. He publicly urged the board to show ambition earlier this summer and openly questioned the timing of recruitment, remarks which, according to reports, haven't gone down well behind the scenes. But the real target of the criticism isn't just Rodgers, it's the board. Rather than matching the manager's ambition, some insiders appear to be leaking to the media to lay the blame for internal tensions at his feet. If Rodgers really is the only one questioning how the club is run, that doesn't reflect poorly on him, it reflects poorly on everyone else. With Celtic's next match against Kilmarnock imminent, Rodgers will keep a low profile for now. But when the time comes for the press conference, he is certain to face questions, not just about the deadline day debacle, but also about this apparent briefing against him. You can blame Rodgers for the squad issues all you like, but using the media to undermine your own manager while ignoring a furious fan base is beyond the pale. In other news, Chris Sutton has issued a warning to Celtic over the fallout from their chaotic summer, suggesting the lack of ambition shown in the transfer market could trigger further high-profile departures. The former Hoops striker didn't hold back, questioning the club's planning around key players and their long-standing develop and sell model. Dyson Maeda revealed on Friday that he was blocked from leaving Celtic this summer, despite agreeing terms elsewhere. It then emerges that Celtic knocked back a bid for him on the last weekend of the transfer window. Writing in Record Sport, Sutton said, "Celtic should have known there was a strong possibility of interest in a guy who was Player of the Year last season. They should have prepared for it. Celtic sign players with the understanding it's about developing and selling them on when the time comes. They can't even promise that now." And who goes next? Why would the likes of Alistair Johnston, Cameron Carter-Vickers or Rio Hatate hang around if they don't see any ambition being shown by the club? It's just another facet of a summer that has been so badly managed it's on the verge of self-sabotage. The outspoken pundit, who has been critical of Celtic's approach in recent weeks, believes the mismanagement of the summer could lead to long-term damage, and many fans fear the same. There's a tangible feeling of unrest amongst supporters. Celtic's top stars will no doubt be watching closely in the months ahead, and if Sutton's fears are realised, the club may be facing another rebuild sooner than expected. Brendan Rodgers won't be speaking out until Celtic's next match against Kilmarnock when he faces the media at Lennoxtown. As for the board, who knows? In other news, Kelechi Iheanacho. The Nigerian international was seen in Manchester working with UEFA licensed coach Seedorf Kdua during an individual training session. Iheanacho looked sharp and focused as he built fitness ahead of a potential debut for Brendan Rodgers' side. "Big man looking sharp and not fat," tweeted one observer of the session. With Adam Idah having departed for Swansea and no replacement signed during the window, Iheanacho's late arrival has become even more significant. The 27-year-old was registered in time for the Europa League squad and could make his first appearance in green and white when Celtic face Kilmarnock at Rugby Park next week. The session in Manchester shows that Iheanacho is keeping himself match ready, his physical condition being a positive sign for a squad that is lacking natural centre-forward options. He becomes one of the few forward options left at Rodgers' disposal, with Dyson Maeda, Johnny Kenny, and now Iheanacho carrying the European load through a congested autumn fixture list. This comes amid rising scrutiny on Celtic's summer dealings, with club insiders reportedly unhappy with Rodgers' public questioning of the recruitment strategy, a subject that has dominated headlines since the transfer window shut. Lastly, Chris Sutton has launched a scathing attack on Celtic's summer transfer window following Dyson Maeda's bombshell revelation that he wanted to leave the club. The Japanese forward admitted he had agreed personal terms with another side and pushed for a move late in the window, only for Celtic to block it due to a lack of attacking depth. It's understood a substantial bid was made by a Bundesliga club in the final weekend of the window, but the club were in no position to entertain the offer. Reacting in his Record Sport column, Sutton said, "We all know Celtic's transfer window was a total disaster, but Dyson Maeda's revelation sticks the tin hat on the shambles. No wonder the Parkhead board are lying low. I have no issue with Celtic denying the player a move. Of course they could not let him go, given the state the squad was already in, and he has 2 years left on his contract. But the entire episode just underlines what a mess the club has made of the summer. It is another admission of the collective failure of the recruitment policy. The entire system has collapsed." Sutton's comments reflect the mood of the supporters, with frustration boiling over amid what many see as mismanagement at the top level. The board's silence has only added to the growing unrest. The supporters are desperate to hear from those running the club, which led to rumours of a potential interview with Sky Sports, but the organisation were there to prep for the women's derby at the weekend. On Friday evening, Sky Sports' Anthony Joseph confirmed that Maeda's head was turned after a German club submitted a big money bid late in the window. The player himself claimed he had been telling Celtic from early in the window that he was keen to explore his options. Contract discussions had started before last season ended, but I think we can all assume they are on the back burner now. What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.